Well, hello there, ladles, jelly spoons, and other salted kitchenware, and welcome back to Left of the Fade. I hope you're all doing very well. This week we have decided to do something a little bit different.
That's one word for
it. Yeah. One word for it, yeah. Another word... What would another word for it be, Rose?
Unorthodox?
Yeah.
Silly?
Whose bloody mental idea was this? Not pointing any fingers at myself or anything. No, it's not like this came completely from the mind of the elf or anything, except, for once, an idea from me. Way. I'm not just going, actually.
I think it'll be fun.
I think so too. So would you like to explain to our lovely and also, I feel so sorry for you lot in this moment because, the mental torture you're about to be put through because of me is, I'm sorry. I apologise profusely. Please accept.
So we're gonna do our first book review. But to start off for our first one, we're doing something light. So of course that would be the tiniest book. The tiniest Dragon Age book is Heart in Hightown, but because Heart in Hightown is a book in the Dragon Age universe, we can't really review it as Rose and Thord. We're gonna review it as
Alisa Lavellan.
And my Hawke, which is Rosaline Hawke.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like I said, I'm sorry. I really am. I don't know what... I have no idea what possessed me, where I thought this was going to be a good idea. But, I think I'm hoping it'll be fun, and I'm hoping that everybody can see it for what it is and for the laugh it's intended to be. I am, however, I was trying to, write notes for this the other day when I realised I can't shit on Carver, and that makes me very sad.
It's okay.
Because in character, I don't know Carver to shit on him, so I can't.
It's okay. I know Carver.
Yes, you can shit on him for me.
The only thing that I'm really upset about is that that this means Bethany does not exist.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Bethany has unfortunately passed away on the journey through Kirkwall, which is never ever a good thing to think about when it comes to Dragon Age 2, because number one, we lose Bethany, and number two, fucking Carver survives of all pricks. Seriously. One day BioWare are just gonna, write him out of the lore just because of me, and if they don't, I will find a way to make them. I'm kidding, okay. I'm not really threatening the BioWare staff, although seriously, give me my game!
There it is! It's been too long that we haven't heard that.
Where else was I gonna fit it in this podcast as well? I can hardly say that as Alisa, so...
Okay,
fun time.
so we hope that you enjoy this rather interesting book review that we're about to do.
Yes,
and that it provides some levity. Even if you don't think the episode is funny itself, you'll at least laugh at the fact that we even attempted that.
Yeah, because, who is daft enough to do something like this? Me. I am. Hi, I'm Thorn.
Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna let Hawke and Lavellan take over our equipment.
Yes.
So, see you later, I guess. Bye.
Bye.
Andrasto, Elven, Shemlins, Dwarvan, Canary alike.
And welcome everyone to Left of the Fade, the Thedosian podcast where one human, that's me, Rose,
and one elf, that'd be me, Thorn, from opposite sides of the Frostback Mountains,
delve the deep roads of the Dragon Age franchise to shine light on some topics that we feel haven't been given enough attention.
Please join us as we journey through the dark and the light,
and walk the road less traveled to the left of the fade. Okay. Okay. Is this what I'm doing?
Hello.
Am I? Hello.
Hello.
Okay. So I'm just supposed to be. Okay, what is this thing, even? Like, Varric, you told me. I thought there was gonna be, like, mage here, some magic. No, what? This is like a bunch of metal.
Wait, is Varric there?
No, he's not. He just. Who am I talking to? How am I hearing you? Who is this?
Alisa, my name's Alisa.
Oh, no, yeah. I knew I recognized you from somewhere. Right. I remember.
Wait, hold on a minute. Is this Hawke?
Yes, this is Hawke.
Right.
This is Hawke.
Apologies.
I would think you would remember me after you. No. By the way, thank you so much for choosing me over Stroud.
Well, of course.
Thank you.
I
mean, that sucks for Stroud, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
but
I mean...
otherwise, Fenris would have killed you.
Yeah, and, Glowboy really didn't want to be fucking him off. Like, no, I have enough. I've got, enough drama going on in the background with Cullen going off because of all the shit that happened with Solus. No. Mm-mm. I don't need anybody else's drama.
Is it true that you got married?
I did, yes.
Oh,
yes, I did.
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah. Took a bloody long time to get there, but, this is what happens when you have an Inquisition to run and one of your head boys buggers off at the last minute.
Fenris wanted to put off the marriage until he finishes killing those magisters.
Well, of course.
Which I get. I'm busy too.
Yeah, I can understand that, but at the same time, life is short. Eventually these boys need to remember that. How many of ours have we lost in these past few years, huh? But, no teaching some of them.
Okay, so apparently...
What wanted us to do?
We're supposed to be... Are you doing this stupid book review too?
Oh, it's bloody hard in Hightown, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He forced me to sort of sit and reread it again, even though I'd already read it once, and I gave him my review of it, but he was like... No, you have to sit down and just give it another review. Just take another gander at it, if you will. And just let me know. In fact, I'm going to set you up with a special friend of mine. And I want you to just speak into this little magical device and give your heartfelt review on it. We need the people to hear. You know how he is. You know how he is.
I know exactly how he is, smug little shit. I got exactly the same spiel. I don't know who this chappie is that I saw just leaving the room, but whoever he was, whatever this thing is, it's bugging me. It's bugging me. I'm not. I don't know if you know much about my background, but I'm not much of a one for magic. I much prefer pointy things.
I know a little bit, but I know as much as you need to, business-wise, and what Varric has told me.
Yeah, that's cool. As long as Varric hasn't been spilling his guts too much, because there are far too many games of strict wicked grace that I am not willing to get into.
Well, that sounds like a story I would love to hear at a different time. In fact, I think I would love to join you at some point.
Oh, absolutely. We should invite the boys over for a game as well.
We should. I will ask. I'm sure Fenris will bring the wine. I'm certain.
I can imagine.
3/4 of it will be for him, but...
That sounds about right.
We should,
from what I've heard.
I'll send a letter. I'll send a letter, and
please,
we can just sort of get together. Yeah.
I will await your raven.
Okay. Okay. This book. Let's. Where do we even start? Like,
I can't believe you gave it another read through. I didn't bother. I didn't bother. Like, I've read it.
He practically strapped me to the chair and shoved the book in my face.
Yeah, he's good at that, isn't he? Oh.
He said, if I had to endure it with Cassandra, then you get to endure it with me. Like...
I'm going to have a word with him about that when he gets back here. I will. I apologise profusely for that. He's currently in my employ. This is not how he should be behaving, and I do apologise profusely for that. On his behalf,
it's fine.
I will have a serious word with him when he returns to Skyhold.
It's fine. He's my best friend, and you do what you need to do for your best friend. But honestly, like, if I'm going to be strapped down with restraints, I much prefer Fenris to be the one doing it.
That's kind of my point.
Anyway, so, first of all, Varric, is there not some sort of legal thing out there that says you are not supposed to use people's likeness without their permission?
I do believe there is something written into the laws of Thedas which says as much. I could have the Inquisition's legal team look into it on your behalf if you would like me to.
No. I'm not bothered by it because he painted me in a good light and my brother is the bad guy. So, which, by the way, I think we should say, I'm supposed to say spoilers if we're going to talk about what happens in the book.
Ah, right, okay.
I don't know why.
What's a spoiler? What's spoilers?
Well, spoiled, like rotten meat, maybe? Anyway. So yeah, spoilers, I guess. Anyway, so, I do first want to say, if you are interested in crime and murder mysteries, then maybe you want to give Hard and Hightown, a look.
I mean, it's not a hard read.
And more like Light in Hightown, if you get my drift.
In all honesty. I mean, don't get me wrong, I heard every single word I read in the smug shits, in Varric's voice, which is either a testament to good writing or testament to the fact that I've spent far too much time around him.
It did definitely feel like Varric, like I could hear his voice through the book.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And his knowledge of Kirkwall and its geography and layout is pretty damn perfect from what I'm aware of. I mean, I don't personally know Kirkwall all that well.
I do think it's now that you bring that up, I do think it's interesting that he, especially even when he says on page 39, he's talking about the dragon's jewels. Mm-hmm. They say boat. I find it interesting that he uses the words boat and ship interchangeably, which is something Varric does in life.
Yes.
But he also says pointy bits, not very descriptive, but very Varric-like, and says that the wooden part could crush armadas beneath its shit. I don't know, wood.
Yeah, that's a Varric sentence if I've ever heard one. He literally wrote it as if the words were just coming out, as if he was telling the story.
I think that's almost, I heard him once refer to it as a stream of consciousness. I'm not a writer, so I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, I much prefer to take my time, I never asked to do this, but people seem to like putting quests on me and getting things done and filling out paperwork.
Oh my god, yes, right?
I've lost my love for writing after all of the paperwork.
I used to occasionally dabble in poetry and the occasional song, never a novel. I mean, I never had those tags on myself, but we all know how Varric is. But, you know, it's just this, I could never quite, no. I could never put myself in his headspace to be able to do this. That I will say. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he has the balls to do it.
He is quite a good writer. I will say that. I am hoping by saying this, I will get paid a little more to do this. Not that I'm getting paid much.
Cassandra? Just to take a mild detour, did you read the book he gave Cassandra? I'll take that as a yes.
I mean, how could I not?
Exactly. Especially when she spent days blushing. I mean, I have never seen this woman's face this colour.
I never would have taken her as a woman who would read those kind of books, but
neither did I.
Everyone has their dirty little secret.
Oh, absolutely. I have several.
And by the way, he's
right?
going... What?
Oh, good. It was missed. Quality. This is good. It was missed. Moving on.
So I will tell you that, apparently this is going out into the, into another universe or something? I don't know. I'm not, yeah, that's what Varric said. He said he's gonna try to get other universes to read this book, which is a feat, I guess.
Again.
I don't know.
You haven't been letting him hang out with Fenris, have you?
Only when they play Diamondback.
You know they're a bad influence on each other.
I can only do so much.
But this is one of the things we discussed at the last ball.
I can only do so much.
Okay.
And it's not like... And it's not like I can really tell Fenris what to do. I mean, he doesn't really like that, and I feel kind of cruel to do so. It feels wrong. Anyway, as I was saying, like, it's... Having taught... He's gonna hate me for saying this, but since it's going out into another universe, I don't really think that many people are gonna hear it here, so maybe it's fine. But, the second that Fenris picked up on reading, and... learned very quickly. He's a very fast learner. I don't know if anyone knows that about him, but as soon as he picked it up and he developed this love of reading, so he's picking up book after book after book, and he decided, hey, I'm going to give my friend Varric a try and read some of his books. And, yeah, he was rather fond of Swords and Shields. A little. Quite fond of it.
Wow.
He says the characters are very well written. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure how to respond in polite conversation. I know I haven't exactly conducted myself in a fully professional manner during this conversation, Hawke, but let's be honest here. When have I ever conducted myself in a particularly professional manner in regards to meetings? I call it as I see it, and let's be completely honest here. We all love that little furry bastard, but... We do, but he's exhausting.
Yeah.
Although, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't be here without him, so I kind of own this.
It's a valid point. I mean, I genuinely don't think I would be alive today if it wasn't for Varric. More so than almost any of my other advisors, if I'm honest. Do not tell Iron Bull this. It would kill him. But that man is exhausting to take out. He is a nightmare to take out on missions with me. I would much rather have Cassandra with me. That girl really knows what she's doing, whereas half the time I think Iron Bull's too drunk.
The look on Fenris's face when I tell him this. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yes. The scenery is vividly painted with words.
Yeah, I was quite impressed by that. It's the picture that he paints is quite beautiful.
Yeah, and at the same time, quite terrible in places. He's quite good at that.
That's intentional.
Oh, of course, that's what I'm saying. He's quite good at that.
It's a good terrible.
Absolutely. I don't know who did the illustrations in this
I was wondering about that too. I asked Varric and he would not tell me.
He does so like to keep his secrets, doesn't he? How do you feel about how your brother was painted throughout most of the book as a bit of a bumbling idiot?
Well, you will take a look at the back of the book, and there's a blurb on the back that I did say.
Oh, I see it here.
But Varric cleaned it up a bit.
Yeah,
I said something to the effect of, "My little brother finally looks like the ass he always was." Something to that effect. He thought that wouldn't look good on the book, so he changed it. But
siblings. Aren't siblings fun?
I mean, he has his moments, but he's... to put it quite delicately, he's a bit of an asshole at times. A rather large asshole.
I had brothers. It's a long story. Anyway.
I have to keep Meryl around in order for him to behave.
Meryl?
Yes. In the book, there's... Okay, I think we need to talk about the characters. So, in the book, there is a character named Maisie.
Mm-hmm.
That is Meryl. Varric's nickname for her is Daisy.
Uh-huh.
And that is exactly what she looks like, and that is exactly how she acts.
Could you tell me more about Meryl?
My brother wants to bone her.
Wow. That's a piece of information I wasn't expecting to get during this,
and poor sweet Meryl, he's so subtle, and she doesn't realize how much he fancies her.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though he knows she does not get subtle, and he's subtle to her.
Mm-hmm.
And to the rest of us is painfully obvious. I shouldn't just sit here and say that he just wants to bone her. I mean, that's true. He does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfair to say that's not all he wants. He actually genuinely likes her.
Yeah.
And it's because of that he actually behaves around her. So if I bring her along, then I can be like, okay, he's actually gonna be decent today.
Yeah.
The second she's gone, he's a bit of a loose cannon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I said, brothers, I had a few in the past.
And while we're speaking of the illustrations and the exact likeness, like all of these pictures, Varric says that he just uses inspiration from our adventures and from his friends. This is not inspiration. This is practically stealing. This is identity theft. That's me. That's what I look like. That's actually me. That is Sebastian. That's Isabella. That is Isabella. Also, he gave my brother way too many muscles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not fond of that. If he was gonna give my brother muscles, he could have at least given me bigger breasts, but I guess And Captain Hendalen? That's Aveline. Like, is Donnan supposed to... I realize you probably don't know half of the people that I'm talking about, and I apologize, but...
I haven't met most of them, no.
But know that these are real people. He's just taken their image. He's barely changed their names most of the time. The only one that's even a little bit different is Captain Hendalen, which is Aveline. That's the only one that's really different. Everyone else is the same. By the way, I'm pretty sure that Donnan is supposed to be Captain Aveline's husband, Donnick. Knowing that makes the story a bit interesting, because there is no romance between them in here.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Not to mention, that illustration of him is gorgeous. Like...
Gorgeous.
Oh, Aveline. I'm sorry, but the first illustration of Donnick, whatever his name is, Aveline's husband, yeah. He good-looking chap.
Well, she's never gonna hear this. So, but if she did, she would probably take you in a fight, and that might not be one you'd win. So, don't tell her that.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm really not. Been through some stuff recently, you know. Really not scared of humans right now.
Also, I can't be sure. I'm pretty sure he put my awful, lecherous, gross uncle in this book. Garen, if you go to page, what was it? 51, I think? Is it 51? 51, yes. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be my uncle.
51. Your uncle?
He really took, like, half my family and put it in the book.
Are you sure you don't want me to talk to the Inquisition's legal team about...
It's fine. Although there is one thing I am really, really pissed off about. Mm-hmm. That's, if you are... I don't know if this is something you could talk to the Inquisition about, but if you could, I would love it. So we're gonna put, Fenris, by the way, as a bartender, named Ferris. But he's gonna be one of, only 2 people in here that do not get a picture? Did he not think that I might like to see Fenris's face in this book? Did he not?
Clearly, I mean, you...
This is an injustice.
Because, I mean, you say he's your best friend, but I'm starting to wonder whether or not somebody else has pilfered him as best friend.
He is my best friend. He's just quite frustrating at times.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love him to death, right? And I'll straight up admit it here. If he didn't have that bloody frustrating obsession with Bianca, that boy wouldn't have known what had hit him, because, Cullen and Solus wouldn't even have had a look in. I probably shouldn't have said that because it's really unprofessional, but, you know, honestly, Hawke, can I speak frankly to you? Because I don't really have anybody else here that I can tell this to. Right?
Go ahead.
Okay, I am madly in love with Varric. I am madly in love with Varric. I know that I'm married to Cullen, and I should be super happy. But I'm happy. I'm just not as happy as I think I could be. And if it wasn't for the fact that Varric is obsessed with Bianca for maker only knows why. Yes, I said maker. It's his influence. Then I might have had a chance anyway. But, the things you have to do in life to get on, eh?
Well, Varric, he's just never made himself a romance option to anyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, believe me, I'd noticed. Sorry, I had to finish the last of my mead. I'm getting a bit tired of thinking about Varric and his writing and all the stuff to do with that little fuzzy chested fucker. Sorry.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I do. I apologize because it was highly unprofessional.
It's fine.
Sorry,
Trust me, the stuff that I saw occur between, there was so much drama. I mean, that's a story for another time. Varric didn't even
go out for a drink together at some point, by the way. I'm just saying. We absolutely need to go out for... No, Varric.
Varric didn't even touch on some of the drama that happened between everyone in Tale of the Champion. Like, there were gaps between... like 3-year gaps between each sort of series of events that he did not cover the stuff that happened. And let me tell you, the parties that were had
wow.
and not all of it was collecting some money and killing some people, if you get my drift.
See, this is what happens when you spend all your life in the forest with hunting for your family, who, let's be completely honest with you, never really appreciated me anyway, but it's fine, that's not where I am now, somewhere else now, anyway, yeah.
Well, now that we've talked about the characters, which once again, Varric, you completely stole everyone, but that's okay, because you painted me in a marvelous light, like, he just would not, he lies a lot, but he is telling the truth when he talks about how looks could kill and I'm a beauty and everything. Like, he was 100% telling the truth there.
Oh, I know, I've met you in person. You are stunningly gorgeous. There are no two ways about it.
The more we talk, the more I want to go get a drink with you.
Yeah, I thought so. I think we're going to be good friends, Hawke. I have a good feeling about this.
So, why don't we try to at least compliment Varric, because he's a very good writer.
He's a very good writer.
Even though
he's very good at capturing people's personalities. He's very good at capturing people's personalities.
I am quite interested. On page 31, there's a full paragraph there that talks about the neighborhoods in Kirkwall follow old fault lines and veins in the rock. It's a map that only dwarves understand, and it talks about how people get lost there all the time, even though they live there. That's quite true. This is a small little bit that I did not quite know, and I really wonder, is this something that Varric knew? Because he is a dwarf, and it says only dwarves understand? I mean...
Sometimes I wonder if his writing leaves more questions than answers.
It does
in
sort of...
so many ways.
It makes sense why there's several entrances to the deep roads from Kirkwall.
Of course.
I mean, that's something that we've always kind of known. There is dwarven architecture there. But, I didn't understand that it was the reason why so many people got lost. And now I can tell Meryl, it's not quite her fault why she always gets lost. It makes much more sense, but I just found that interesting that he put this in here. I'll have to ask him about that.
I'm not entirely sure I got the opportunity to meet this Meryl that you keep mentioning, and, I've read about her, obviously, but I still don't quite know where she came from. Like, who is she? You'll need to tell me later, because I know she's an elf,
She comes from the Dalish.
Mm-hmm.
We actually met her because we had to fulfill a promise, and we went out to. Me and my comrades went out to meet the Dalish clan that she was a part of, and she came with us. She came to Kirkwall from the Dalish clan. There was a lot of...
She left the clan.
There was a lot of... I'll have to talk to her later and talk to you later, and I'll get you in contact with each other, but there was a lot of complications there. She simply just didn't feel like she fit in.
Okay. Well, I know how that feels. But, yeah, okay, I suppose I'll speak to her. It's always good to make more elfy friends. I mean, after all, Sarah, don't get me started on her. Like, I had thought when I met her that, I might have another elf friend. No. No. Doesn't even want to accept the fact that she is an elf. And that, you have no idea how mental that drives me, seriously. It's gotten to the point where I just feel like I'm beating my head off of a brick wall now. Might as well just stop before I turn my head into, elf root paste.
So I guess,
She's so beautiful as well. I bet she comes from a really noble lineage.
What did you think of the story overall?
Honestly, okay, this is going to be a compliment. I didn't really want to give him, but when I started reading it, I couldn't stop.
I apologize. I have this little music box that's going off over here, and let me just turn that off. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. You have, children or something around there playing with things, or... Anyway, as I was saying, once I'd picked it up, I couldn't put it down until I was finished. Don't tell him this, but it's quite compulsive, quite a compelling story. It's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of stuff that you don't see coming. Intrigue and the whole thing. Very, very interesting. Not knowing the people who were involved other than yourself, and when I read it at first, I didn't even know you. Not properly anyway. So, not knowing the people in the story particularly well, I couldn't tell you whether or not it was all true to character, but having seen some of the writing he's done about myself and Cullen and the others, I do know his ability to capture character in his prose is really rather spectacular. Well, I'm not even going to go into the time he wrote about the Wicked Grace game that we played that involved, like I said, group nudity at one point. That was, I say group nudity. Most people had lost an item or two, but not Cullen.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
could you repeat that?
Yeah,
I didn't quite
Cullen.
hear you.
Yeah, that was the night that everyone in the Inquisition saw almost all of Cullen Stanton Rutherford. The night I did see all of Cullen Stanton Rutherford.
Oh, I bet that was a sight.
Oh, it was. Why do you think it's a sight I chose to see every day for the rest of my life? Oh, don't get me wrong. I had my choices, many choices, but when your ultimate choice isn't available to you, you take the next best option, which is an adorable little puppy like Cullen. Because let's be honest, that's what he is. He's just the most adorable little puppy. Just squeeze your little face. He's so cute. I really need to stop doing that. He hates it when I do that. Calls it demeaning.
Oh, I don't know. I think there are quite a lot of people out there who have kinks being referred to as an animal or a puppy. I know there's a certain person that does not like it when I refer to him as puppy dog eyes, but there are some people that like that.
I have heard, and I do know that the Iron Bill is into some rather interesting things. Believe me, I tested those waters at one point as well, I'm not going to lie.
Lavellan, I think you and I really do need to share some stories.
Oh, absolutely. A mead or two at the bar next time you're at Skyhold, yes.
Well, as for my overall thoughts on the book.
Of the story.
So, if I'm being perfectly honest, I thought it was quite a bit dry until I got to the end. I think I had some struggles getting over the fact that these were people that I felt like I actually knew. I do know. I know them. Mm-hmm. And that so maybe it's not a book that's written for me.
Yeah.
So perhaps my review is a little unfair. But when I got to the very end and realized that all along the bad guy was Jevlin, I never once suspected it. And then going back through, as much as I hated Varric forcing me to read it again after I already read it once, I did enjoy reading it again, if not for the sake of I knew the ending already, so I was able to see things that I had not seen before, and there were tiny little hints here and there. Mm-hmm. Like his clumsiness was purposeful.
Yeah.
Also, how would someone that clumsy become a guard?
That is such a good point. One which I hadn't actually considered at first. See, this is why I took the twist as such a shock. Because he was such a klutz, you know? I genuinely didn't see Jevlin as any sort of threat whatsoever. But it was what... This is one of the things that Varric is particularly good at, twists. He's very good at writing twists. And very good at twisting narratives. Best storyteller I know.
It does make me wonder,
you can stick that on his next book.
Free publicity. Well, it's not exactly free. I kind of made him pay me for this. But...
You're getting paid?
I forced him to pay me.
That little shit! When I get my fucking hands on him.
It's not much, but it is something.
Monetary compensation for this bullshit is monetary compensation. Like, I don't mind magic and I don't mind mages, right? But I object to being made to sit in a dark room and talk to a wall, essentially. No offence to you, Hawke, but I genuinely take offence to being forced to sit in a dark room, stare at a wall and talk to it for an hour about a book that, yeah, I really, really enjoyed, but don't really want to talk about because, to be honest with you, talking about anything involved in Varric hurts right now.
Are you in Skyhold at the moment?
Yes. Yes, unfortunately stuck in... We've got this room down next to the cells, which is the only place that was dark enough and quiet enough to actually be able to concentrate on this crap. Varric insisted, and of course what Varric wants, the fuzzy little fuck gets. Because I just can't stop giving him things. What's wrong with me?
Oh, Andrasto's flaming ass. How... I'm in Kirkwall. What kind of magic is this that he's... We're talking to each other through this metal magical device, and we're able to... And he shoved like this... It's like this hairpiece with these bowls on the sides that are over my ears. Like, what is... Yep. Did he do the same thing to you?
He poked things in my ears. It was so...
I'm assuming not in a fun way.
No, not in a fun way. Not in a funny, Wet William kind of way. No, nothing like that. No. This was like sticking these things in my ears. They're still there. They've got these, it looks like vines hanging off them. It's really strange. But I've always hated people touching my ears because, Shems, anytime I was around Shems, they were always like, knife ear, touching my ears, and it's horrible. But of course he couldn't help himself, so he goes poking things in there, and then I've got to sit and look at this metal box stuck to a wall and in a dark room and talk to myself for an hour, which apparently not talking to myself, but at least that was something. At least I had a familiar face, voice, thing at the other end of the whatever kind of incantation this is. I'm going to have a word with him when he gets back. I'm not sure I can allow this in Skyhold in the future.
Maybe you could just stick Cassandra on him. Just stick her on him.
Sticking Cassandra on him. Always. Well, it's tempting, but, I don't want to do that too much because I don't want him to be upset with me. And yet at the same time, it's so funny watching her chasing around the halls of Skyhold. It's just, I've never... there's this... have you ever heard of... the comedian Bernard Hillock? He did this crazy comedy about 20 years ago, quite often chasing people around in circles and stuff. Great music. Went something like something like that, and that's all I can see any time Cassandra chases Varric around Skyhold. Is so funny.
I have not heard that.
One time Dorian tripped him in the hallway. It was so funny. He rolled down the stairs. It was just, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I shouldn't have laughed as hard as I did, but I almost wet myself. It was so funny.
You know what? I speaking of amusing, on page 43, Donnan goes to see this healer mage, and to me, it's obvious who it is. But I find it quite interesting that it's the only sort of character in here, a character in the book, and person that is obviously based on a person of the troupe I sort of ran around with a few years ago, that has not been named. That's supposed to be Anders. As in the Anders.
As in the one who started all of this, essentially.
Yes.
By blowing up the Chantry in Kirkwall.
Yes. That's supposed, and he's unnamed. Now, I don't know if that's sort of because Varric wanted to be like, I don't want people to know that this character is based on this guy. Or if it's a callback to the fact that Anders didn't know his legal name. That's just the name he was given. I just found that fascinating.
It comes from the Anderfells?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Especially if that's where he's from, which, going by what I've heard, is where he's from. I would so like to meet him. I would so like to meet Anders.
Why?
Several reasons. I'm not sure whether or not all of them are positive or negative. Just, I have mixed emotions about the guy. Let's put it this way. While I can completely understand his motivation, at the same time, my whole world has gone to shit since, and I can't help but feel like he started it.
I just wish that fucking bastard would have told me what he was planning. But of course he didn't trust me enough for that. I thought he was my friend, I really did.
Now do you understand why Cassandra was so pissed off when Varric didn't tell her he knew where you were?
I mean, yes, I understand it. I never said I agreed with it, but you know how Varric is.
Yes, I do. Slimy little shit. If I didn't love him so much, I'd strangle him half the time.
You know, I share your sentiment. I love him to death. He's my brother. But sometimes I just want to...
Fratricide.
I just want to step on his face and just stomp and stomp and stomp and stomp and...
Okay. That's... Like, I know he can evoke frustration, but... Jeez, Hawke. Show some restraint. You're supposed to be the champion of Kirkwall. Behave yourself.
You obviously did not read Tale of the Champion, because I very rarely behaved myself.
Oh no, I did read Tale of the Champion. That's why I'm telling you to behave yourself. I'm the Inquisitor. I have power. Behave.
And I think it's a very well-written book. It's intriguing. There are twists. I think Varric does a very good job at painting settings. There were a lot of beautiful imagery in this. He is quite a good writer, although I have to say I prefer his romances for more reasons than one. Yes, I do.
Okay. I personally, I prefer this to his romances. It's most definitely more palatable for a wider audience.
I know his romances are quite cheesy, but what can I say? Fenris has learned a thing or two from them.
Okay. I'm gonna, I'm not quite sure how to answer that.
You don't need to say anything.
Yeah, I'll leave it hanging in the air like the conversational bad smell it is. I jest, of course, I do. Colin hasn't read books like that for that reason. He's not. No, I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to talk outside of my relationship with him. It wouldn't be fair, and I've already spilled enough of my guts this evening about my entire relationship issues. Let's just put it this way: I love my Colin, and I shall love him for always. I just wish he would sweep things off the desk once in a while. I mean, once was nice. I'd just like it a few more times.
It sounds like you want to... Do you want to have a private conversation there, Lavellan?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go and talk to Colin. He's always so bloody busy, and frankly, I've had enough. I need my husband to spend time with me. Anyway.
I hope that is what he wanted.
Yes, as do I, because I can't really think of anything else to say.
It is a good book. Whoever is... I guess there are going to be people that are listening to us talk.
Yeah.
I guess no one in this universe. I don't know how this is working, but...
No, neither do I. Well, if there are people out there listening to this, I don't know who I'm talking to right now, I'll just speak to the ether. If there are people out there right now listening to this, and you want to read a book that sounds like it may be enjoyable, then I would suggest you read Hard in Hightown by Varric Tethras. What do you think? Did that come across okay?
I think it's good enough.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and read it.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
What?
I'm so... I think I just heard Vivian turn up. And after the whole debacle with the...
I remember her.
Yeah. She and I aren't on the best of terms.
Oh, thank the maker. It wasn't just me.
No.
I had a couple of run-ins with her, and...
She's got this whole thing about mages being locked up in circles and shit, and I don't jam with that. So...
I don't know if I've ever come across a mage that truly felt that way. Like, truly. Like, I've come across a few that felt that way because, one, they didn't think things could get any better, or two, because they were brainwashed and it was fear, but I've never come across anyone who actually believed that.
Yeah, well, Vivian does believe me. I've had enough conversations to know as much, but the woman has rich people privilege. So, where she's from, as long as you're rich enough, you can do whatever you like. God, I hate rich people.
I mean...
Well, the Dreadwolf take them, as far as I'm concerned. Oh. Something, I really need to stop saying that.
Why?
Oh, it doesn't matter, it's not important, it's just that I can't,
Is there something going on?
Plenty of things. I'll talk to you about it when we're not doing this for Varric.
Okay! That sounds,
ominous?
It really sounds like you have... Are you sure you're not Orlesian? Because you certainly have the right amount of intrigue going on.
Yeah, tell me about it, right? No, I'm Dalish. I'm about as Dalish as they come. But, it's... This shit magnetizes to me, man. I don't know why. You must understand it, right? Champion of Kirkwall?
There were basically... It was less about drama for me and more about trouble, and I just killed, got money, and anyone who was in my way, I took care of them.
Oh, those days. What I wouldn't give for those days. Killing and just being... dealing with... Yeah, what I wouldn't give for those days back, I'm telling you.
I mean, I guess everything that
so
happened with Anders was quite interesting.
There is that. Anyway, I'm beginning to grow tired. I grow weary. This discussion, again, as I say, discussion of Varric, it's too painful right now. And I said I would do this for him, and now it's done. I don't want to have to deal with it again for a while.
I think we've accomplished what he needed us to do. We've gone and done it. I can be paid now. Varric.
And I will be having words with him about that with him when he returns to Skyhold. Believe
I will tell him he must pay you.
Do so, because tell him Alisa is highly displeased, and when you get back, she's having words. And tell him having words has extra emphasis. He'll know what you mean.
I will do that.
Thank you.
I guess I don't know how Varric set this up. I don't know how I'm supposed to end this. Like,
yeah,
what?
I'm
Review done?
Myself.
Go read the book?
Yeah.
Do I just walk away?
I have no idea what we do here. I mean, seriously, this is... it's like... Varric? Anyone? Josephine? Someone?
Okay, I guess I'm just gonna walk away from this
I think
device, magical contraption, but
yeah.
I will send you a letter. We must meet up.
As I said, yes, I will await your raven. I look forward to it, and it's been nice speaking. It's been nice speaking to you, Hawke. It has been, indeed, truly.
Maybe some other time we can just have a drink and catch up.
Yes, preferably in person without all the magic shit.
We shall do that.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Lavellan.
You also, Hawke. Thank you very much, and I will speak to you soon. Hopefully with less magic.
Have a good night, then.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you all so much for joining us for this conversation. If you stayed to the end, you're a legend, and if you've enjoyed yourselves, make sure to smack that like button on the tube of you with a quick stone fist and subscribe ring the ding-a-ling so you get all of our uploads there, and if you don't, well then may the Dreadwolf take you.
We do hope you'll join us again, and if you're listening somewhere other than YouTube and want to make sure you can, please do subscribe or follow, rate us, and leave a review.
We love to hear what you guys have to say. It helps us to make this podcast better for you, and at the end of the day, that means a lot to us. If you want to contact us, you can follow us on our Twitter at LOTFDAPOD, or feel free to email us at LeftOfTheFade@gmail.com.
We hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and with all the blessings of Andrasto and the Maker.
And the light of Elgarnan and Nathal to guide your way, may Silays keep your Arvel warm and full.
Remember that you're ridiculously awesome. We'll see you next time we journey to the left of the fade.
Goodbye!
Goodbye!